Okay, so, well, I'm not entirely sure how to start this intro. I'm still new to this part of YouTube, talking about the stuff I love, which is stories. And today I'm going to be talking about a movie, one I just finished moments ago actually. It's a movie on Netflix called The Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society. It is a period piece that takes place after World War II, and we follow this author. I apologize if there's like wind or noise or whatever because I am filming outside, as you can obviously tell. This movie, I particularly liked it as a sort of romantic comedy. I mean, it's not overtly funny, but there are a lot of humorous moments and the characters are very much endearing. I love them so much. I fell in love with them almost immediately. The directing in this movie is, I think, spectacular. I think they did a great job with that. I love the two leads. We have Juliet and Adam Dossie, right? Oh, I love them so much. Okay, now before I go into a bit of a spoiler talking about what's happened in the actual story, I will just give a brief summary, well, like preview. Okay, so Juliet Ashton is an author who is trying to be taken seriously. She wants to write about serious things that, you know, make her feel alive. Juliet Ashton is a novelist who, oh fucking hell, come on. There's all this noise here now, of course, because I'm filming now, so now everyone has to be outside. Juliet Ashton is an author who is trying to be taken seriously, and she wants to write more serious material. And the only thing she's really popular for right now is a comedy book series. Like, this is, I believe, a few months, or maybe possibly even weeks after World War II officially ends. She receives a letter from a stranger talking about how he discovered her book and how it inspired him and his friends to start a book club of sorts. Not really inspired him, it was more of a, I'll get into that. And this is a story about how she comes into her own and is able to connect with people who are not necessarily similar to her, but people who she feels a great sense of connection with, if that makes sense. I'm not sure if I'm putting this properly. This is not scripted, in case you couldn't tell. I think that's it for the spoiler-free section. If you don't want to watch the movie, I highly suggest it. It is amazing and it's on Netflix now, so go watch it. I'll try putting a link down below, but we'll see if that actually works out because I'm still trying to fix how this whole... Ugh. I will be using the description box to describe things, okay? So, oh gosh, there's so much wind. Now to the spoilers and just talking about this movie, which I absolutely adore. Okay, well, first things first, I like Juliet. I didn't at first. Honestly, I picked up the movie a few days ago, I think a week or two ago, and it didn't really connect with me. I sort of liked her, she seemed interesting, but I wasn't pulled in right away. So, I'll let you decide about that. Here today, as I was eating breakfast and resting after falling on my ass on a skating accident, that was fun. I was in a lot of pain, I couldn't move for a while, so I sat down and I had a long breakfast and got sucked back into the movie. I would have to definitely say that Act 2 is far better than Act 1. I loved it. I'm not even entirely sure what about these characters really pulled me in. I'm trying to figure that out right now. That's possibly why I'm making this video. As a romance, I did not particularly enjoy how they sort of had the whole, she's engaged, but she's not really telling anyone, and she doesn't necessarily act like she is engaged. And then, so it's not really cheating, because she didn't technically do anything, but that irked me a little bit. Another thing to keep in mind is that her actual reason for not wearing her engagement ring was actually a pretty valid one, one that I actually agreed with. I did appreciate that, and I was able to sort of understand her motivation for doing that. Looking back though, I can say that I don't think she loved Mark. I definitely think like she said, she enjoyed her time with him. I think that they were good for each other, or at least he was good for her at that moment. I'm honestly glad how they handled that situation. we see her trying to make it work. She doesn't just automatically quit on this relationship, and that's something that I admire, because I really hated how in romantic comedies, or just romances in general, as soon as the girl has these whatever feelings she has for another guy, she dumps her boyfriend of however many years, who she supposedly was so in love with. Now he's just gone because of whatever butterfly is in her stomach for this new hot guy. And I don't think that that was the case in this story. I really enjoyed Adam and Juliet's romance. I think what I really loved was Juliet rediscovering her love for writing. As a writer, I could appreciate that, and I liked seeing that journey, and also seeing her becoming someone who actively pursued the things she wanted. In the beginning of the movie, she was just sort of floundering. She had this relationship that she was not very invested in, I think, emotionally at least. We see her go from someone who keeps saying she wants to be taken seriously and talking about writing and how she wants all these things, but she never does anything about it. But by the end of the movie, she is doing things. She's inspired by Elizabeth to go and just, I think, write this story. She wants to write about these people who inspired her, and she does. She apologizes for it because she promised she wouldn't. But she still does it because that's what she sort of needed. She needed to tell that story. She needed to write it down. She needed to make it like tangible. That part of her I really connected with, and how by the end of the movie she was, even though we have Adam be the one who's all, I gotta go get her, I'm gonna go, she's like, this is her like sending a message to me, and everyone else is like, wait, what? She didn't send a message. She didn't say she wasn't marrying Mark. What are you talking about? But he's like, no, she means this, and I know this. And I love the line about belonging to someone before we've ever met them, because I definitely believe that about love, and that was just, I don't know, I got all the feels. And I was so just like staring at my phone and going, yes, yes, yes. Okay, I was just so excited. I could not hold it in. And I loved the twists that comes with Kit's parents and who her father is, and the tragedy behind that, and even like discovering how Elizabeth died. Like, that tore me up, and I was like, that is so in character, and that is so tragic and sad. And it's sort of wrong of me to be happy that she's dead, but I'm sort of glad she is, because it reminded us of the tragedy of the things that happened in World War II, and all the ways it affected all these different people, and how different people reacted to these events. It was just, overall, it's a really good story. I give it 4 out of 5 stars. I love the acting. The casting is amazing, I believe. I loved that girl who played Elizabeth. I'm not sure her name, but she's the one who plays the youngest sister, Sybil. She plays Sybil from Downton Abbey, and I love Sybil, and she's gorgeous, and she's an amazing actress. I hope we see her in more things, because she is just stunning. And Lily James, of course, she's amazing. I loved her so much in this, and I loved her chemistry with that actor who plays Dario Naharis. I don't know these people's names other than Lily James. The second to the last scene, where Juliet is getting on the boat and Adam's coming off, and they almost miss each other, and she sees him, but he doesn't really hear her. He thinks she's just like imagining it or something, and he keeps walking. And I'm sorry, I love that she proposed to him. Again, because I think it shows how she went from someone who was just sort of like, okay, sure, I'll marry you, to someone who's like, this is what I want. I know what I want. I want you. I want a life with you. Let's make it happen. And I was just like, yes. In that scene between Juliet and Adam, I almost said Dawson for some reason. I don't know why I said Dawson. It's Dawsey. Between Adam Dawsey and Juliet Ashton, I was so just like, and like that anticipation before the kiss, I was just like, yes. I loved it so much. And then we had another spectacular relationship in this movie, I think. But Islay, that the girl who makes the gin, and Juliet become friends, and I love their little conversation they have about Sydney, right? And I don't know why I did air quotations for that, honestly. It's Sydney. And they're talking about love and being alone. She felt bad about it sometimes, but Isoles, I don't know her name. I can't really remember how to pronounce her name. But the redhead who makes the gin, she said something about how she tells herself that it'll all be worthwhile when her Heathcliff does arrive, and she'll be glad she waited for him. I love that. I love that line. I loved how she delivered it. I think it was amazing, and oh, it's just, I loved it. Okay, I'm getting a little too hyper now. I think that's all I really have to say about this movie, so I will wrap this video up, and I will be saying that sorry that this isn't a book review. I know I said I was going to be doing book reviews, and I will be doing one. My next video is going to be about the book that got me out of my reading rut, because I was in such a bad reading rut for almost like more than 6 months. It was a mess. I couldn't I just couldn't find anything that suited me, and I was also like emotionally, just my life was a mess and I couldn't handle it. But I am back and I'm starting to read, and I accidentally stayed up last night till 1 in the morning, even though I had to wake up at 5:45 reading a book. So hopefully I will finish that book and I will review it. But I do already have a review that I am lining up. That doesn't make sense. But I have a book that I have already read, and I will be reviewing that in my next video, and hopefully it'll drop next week. I am going to try to make these things a Saturday release. I think, given the way my schedule currently is, that is the best day that I will be able to release these videos. So until then, thank you for however many people are watching this, because I don't think a whole lot are, and I'm pretty sure a majority of them is my mom and her friends. So I guess thanks, Mom, for being my entire audience. Oh, but seriously though, thank you for watching. I will see you guys next time, which will hopefully be not in 6 months or so, because I'm pretty sure it's been, what, February? This is the last time I posted, I think, and it's what now? September? So that's what, 7 months? Dang. Okay, I will be hopefully posting next week. Fingers crossed, people. Let's try, hope, pray, make it happen. That will be my goal. So yeah, I will see you all next time.